Well, good to see you this morning. Now, I'm wondering, for the kids that are here and any that might be somewhere hiding in the back pews, is anybody here close to about 5? You close to 5, 4? 5? You're 5. Yeah, something like that. Okay, round numbers. I'm going to tell you a story about when I was 5. Now, how many of you really like the cold? Anyone here? You like the cold? That's good. How many really like the heat? No, you don't like the heat? Okay, now when it's cold, what do you normally do to keep warm? Long clothes on, beanie, scarf, jacket. I see you've got a little jacket there. Now when it's hot, what do you like to do? How do you cool down? You wear cold stuff? That's a new one. You wear an ice block? How many of you like going to the beach? Yeah, you like going to the beach? Now, when I was about 5, I lived in a small country village, and it was really, really hot one day. Thankfully, I didn't live next to the beach, but I lived next to a little lake. And usually there was nobody there during the day because it was just a small village and not many people lived there. It was really hot. I lived with my grandmother and sister, and I begged my grandma to let us go to the lake so we could cool down. Don't you love splashing in the waves when it's hot? Yeah, bodyboarding, jumping, swimming. So we went to this little lake, and I just started splashing. Now, do you know how to swim? You know how to swim? Amazing. I hadn't learned how to swim yet at 5. So I'm there at the lake. I'm not going very deep into the water. My grandma's watching me. And then my sister says, can we go across? There was a little knoll, a little hill just on the other side from where the shore was. And she said, can we go across and just pick some flowers? So my grandmother and my sister went across to pick some flowers. There was nobody else there but me. And what do you think my grandma said before she left? Don't go deep. You're very clever. She said, don't go deep because you don't know how to swim. And what do you think I said? Okay, yes, absolutely, sure, definitely. And as soon as they went over the hill, what do you think I did? Well, I took it slow. I thought, if I go into the water up to my ankles, is that dangerous? Can you drown if the water's up to your ankles? No, definitely not. It was really hot, the water was cool, and then I had a great idea. What do you think that idea was? Maybe what if I go a little bit deeper up to my knees? Is that scary? Not really. And it was so cool. Now my knees down were nice and cool. And then what was my next brilliant idea? Up. You're catching on very quick. Going up to my waist. And I was having lots of fun. Grandma and my sister hadn't been back yet. There was no one else. So I thought, this is amazing. And then what do you think I thought? Go up to a little bit higher, up to my chest. And as I stepped deeper and deeper into the water, I didn't realize, but there was a sudden drop-off, like these stairs. And before I know it, my world went black. And there was more water in my mouth than I was thirsty for. And I tried to talk. Have you ever tried talking underwater? How does it sound? Blah, 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 blah. And I didn't know what was going on, and I couldn't swim, and it was dark, and now I was really cool and cold, and I was drinking lots of water and not very much air, and I thought, oh no, what do I do? What would you do in that situation?
Try to swim.
I didn't know how to swim. I remembered my grandmother had taught me, when you're in trouble, who can you ask for help? You can ask God for help. And so I didn't even know how to pray in my mind. I thought you can only pray out loud. So I started praying underwater, and it sounded something like this. But thankfully, Jesus even understands underwater languages. What I was saying, I'm going to translate it for you. What I was saying was, Jesus, please help. Because this was not going well. And all of a sudden, I felt these 2 big, strong arms pick me from under my arms, drag me out of the water, and before you know it, I'm literally just sitting on the shore. I'm not in the water anymore. And I'm like, thankfully, there was someone here to save me. And I looked around, the left, to the right, and behind, and guess who I saw? There was nobody there. Nobody. And just then, as I'm looking, my sister and grandma, they come over the little hill, and they're like, they could see I looked a little bit worried. And they're like, are you okay, Christian? I'm like, mm-hmm. I didn't tell my grandmother that story till I was about 20. who do you think saved me? I am sure that God, that Jesus sent one of his angels to save me. You know, sometimes we get into trouble because we don't listen, but Jesus still loves us and we can still pray and talk to him. Sometimes we get in trouble for no good reason at all, just because accidents happen. Regardless of why we find ourselves in trouble, who can we talk to? To God. And it doesn't have to be a long, hard prayer, just Jesus, help me. And he loves us and he cares for us and he will answer and be with us. So next time you go to the beach, listen to your parents, your grandparents. But if you ever find yourself in trouble, know you can always pray to Jesus. Well, thank you for listening, boys and girls. You can go back to your seats now.